of the alcohol, la 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all, la 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 la. But my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every mother must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Chris.
I'm Russ.
And this is episode 370.
370 back in the virtual nerd basement. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. It is been a rainy Tuesday, but a nice one here in Detroit. Thank God we have gotten back to more reasonable temperatures again.
I mean, it's still mid-80s, so.
Yeah, but it's not the mid-90s. I mean, and it's just Michiganders aren't built for mid to late upper 90s.
No,
man. It's just
no, and
it's not.
And I agree with you,
cold.
CD. Shut off that damn humidity. That's
For real, yo.
And here I want to move to Ireland where it's really humid, but it's only in the 60s normally. I've actually been looking at the weather in Ireland lately, and it's like upper 60s right now.
In June?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Dude, it rarely gets. It'll get into the low 70s. That's warm for them. Last year they had several days that were in the 80s, and that was killing them. Nobody over there has air conditioning because you don't need it.
Yeah. In Ireland, really? I mean, I thought it was, temperate, kind of temperate, similar to us.
It's farther north. It's like northern Michigan. It's about the same. It's about the same.
Further north.
Yeah, it's about the same latitude as northern Southern Peninsula, Lower Peninsula.
Okay. Northern Lower Peninsula. So like Gaylord and whatnot.
Yeah, some up that way, Traverse City, that type of thing. Just without the snow.
Their average is a bit cooler, but not as much snow. Is that what you said?
Yeah, they don't get as much snow. They're warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer.
Yeah, kind of nice. Sounds kind of nice. Sounds like kind of ideal.
Yeah, they're usually in like the low 40s in the summer, or in the winter. I mean, and they'll drop down and get a little bit of snow here and there, but for the most part, they don't get feet of snow like we do.
Okay. Well, alrighty then. We got some thunderstorms this morning, but thankfully yesterday was a good day for the fireworks downtown. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, welcome to the show. How was your week?
It was pretty good. We had our game on Friday.
We did.
That kind of wrapped up the adventure that I had written. I rewrote the ending so that we could continue on, rather than just ending everything right there. I had thought about
an interesting way. That was interesting too, because I had a feeling that you were kind of like that. This was close to if not the penultimate kind of thing, and you actually said that you were like, no, I originally had planned for this to be the end game. And then after us talking about it, you were like,
and I had thought about continuing that and actually doing something completely different, letting you guys making more like your Hunt for the Drow or something like that, the big thing for the next chapter. Or the Hunt for the Hags, or something. One of the side stories, turning that into the next big thing that you guys were doing. But instead, I decided to go this route because it was another idea that I had, and basically, rather than him getting stopped, I let him escape. And
well, it was cool, and we all were very pleased at the ending. We also liked there were some clutch moments again, like we've come to expect from a couple of our less experienced gamers that I was pretty impressed with. Octavian coming in with that restoration spell. on
Oh yeah.
the bad guy, basically on
Yeah,
Reslam.
that threw me for a loop because I'm like, huh,
Yeah,
how would that work?
I thought it was great, because I mean, it essentially we're trying to cure him of whatever whatever infection he may seem to have, and seem to clear his head a little bit, but he was still too far gone. So, I mean, but it was a great session, and I'm really looking forward to
Renee's
see
Renee's
where we go now.
Renee's thing, man, that hit. That hit hard.
She made that emotional appeal to
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was. It was a great. That was a great RP moment. That was one of the best RP moments I've seen in a while because, I mean, you could really hear it in her voice. You know.
I could see it. I could see it in her eyes. She was looking right at me.
Yeah, I could. Oh, of course. And but I had my eyes downcast because I was looking at what I was sketching, but I could hear it. I could totally hear it, and she was selling it. It was great. She did a great job.
Yep. So, so there was that, and then what did we do over the weekend? We went out. We did a couple things over the weekend. We went to a place. I'll be talking about them in a little bit here when we get to the beer section. We went out to a new brewery on Sunday. A friend from the curling club is doing he does this every year. Because he's partially insane, I think, but he does a 300-mile ride for Make-A-Wish.
What the fuck? Why? What the fuck?
And it's
man?
not like a motorcycle. This is a bicycle. It's a 300-mile bicycle ride up the west coast of Michigan. It's like from Grand Rapids to Traverse City.
That is nut bars, dude. That's totally nut bars. Nope.
But it's for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they were doing a fundraiser up at a brewery, a nano brewery over here. It's real close to the house that Renee and I have talked about going to for a long time and never made it. It was really good. CD says that D7D Emmy.
Nutbreaker.
No, an Emmy for Renee's up for an Emmy, I think is what he was talking about.
Yeah, for real. D&D Emmy.
Yep, D&D Emmy.
Yeah, and that is a nutbreaker, CD. There's no way, man. No fucking way. I'd rather walk.
But yeah, he does it every year.
Miles,
he trains for it all year long and does it every year.
Oh, how long does it take him? Like a weekend or a week?
It's a few days. I don't know how many days, but he's got a team that does it. There's like 3 of them that do it as part of their team, and then there's a whole bunch of other people that do it as well.
Well, I figure you get if you can get 50, 60 miles in on a bicycle in a day, I mean, you're looking at 5-6 days, to do that 300. I mean, that's kind of doable. I mean, you better be good though. You better be in shape. You better be ready for it,
Yep. But yeah, other than that, watched the Game 7 of the Stanley Cup finals last night, and unfortunately Edmonton lost. I was pulling for them, but they got outplayed. The Florida played much better. At the end, when they pulled the goalie, their coach lost that. Well, I won't say the coach lost the game for them, but the coach did them nothing good by leaving the players that were out there. You could tell they were gassed. They couldn't skate. They'd go to push and they had nothing. And I'm like, yeah, it's great that these are your best players, but if they're gassed, they're not your best players anymore. If they can't get down the ice and they can't skate, you need fresh legs out there.
I forget how much of a jock you are sometimes.
I'm going golfing tomorrow, and then I got cornhole on Thursday. Although that's not really so much jock.
That's not being a jock.
That's pregame jock. That's pregame and before
that's playing a game. That's a drinking game.
Yeah. Well, it's our playoffs too. It's our playoffs Thursday. So
cornhole is essentially a drinking game.
Yeah, CD. You don't want any more than 30 seconds, to a minute, out on the ice. That was our goal when I was doing hockey. It was basically you dump the puck, get off the ice, The new guys come on as the other team's bringing the puck back down. You play it in your end. You have one down to their end. Try and score. When they bring it back, you get the puck back and dump it back down and get off the ice. It's no more than one down and back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just unless and in all honesty, unless they're a local team, I could give a shit most of the time. Like I don't care that much about sports to start with, but you asked me to give a shit about a not local team. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, golf. By the way, CD, golf is the sport, not cornhole. He said, "Is golf or cornhole a sport? Golf is a sport.
Game. Yeah. Golf is a sport, barely."
Hey, it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination to do that.
Hey, I used to play golf when I was a teenager. I get it. It's a long walk wasted.
It's a pastime. It's more of a pastime than it's like baseball. It's a pastime.
I'd buy that pastime. Well, baseball's a sport. It's definitely a sport.
It's America's pastime.
It's America's pastime, yeah, but it's definitely a sport. You know, I mean, baseball's in the fucking Olympics, for crying out loud.
Baseball is actually has one of the hardest things in all of sports,
which is
hitting.
Oh, sure.
Hitting a baseball.
Yeah, I'd say that's true. Probably harder than putting that ball in the fucking hoop, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you figure that ball's coming at you at 80 to 100 miles an hour, and you have to time your swing.
Perfect, and then you got to hit it in the right space.
Yep,
you got to hit it in the right place because you got to hit it like in the striking zone.
Yep.
And then you gotta.
Well, you're really guessing because that ball's coming in so fast. You're pretty much guessing where the pitcher's going to throw it.
Right.
You can follow it, and your hands will follow if you have the hand-eye coordination. But that shit's hard.
Yeah, it is for sure. And then you got to hit it hard enough and in the right direction so it doesn't go foul, and it can go far enough that you can get around those bases in time. You know, and hopefully not hit it right to somebody.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking hard. Absolutely.
So, how about you?
Well, I had some ups and downs. The game was great. Work has been worky. We're trying to get into finally getting started on this new float for Blue Cross Blue Shield, but we're finishing up repairs on the turkey trot float and some other things. And we have a bunch of repairs on the Gardner White float, but we really want to get into this new float because we also have 4 more floats after it that we have to do once we finally get the art for them. And so we're just kind of some of the artists are a little like chomping at the bit to do this. Friday we had our games. Saturday and Sunday had kind of a couple of chill days, really. My knee I've been having some good days with my knee, thankfully.
Surprising with all the rain.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Hey, Ojipo.
Hey, there he is. Unfortunately, okay, so like yesterday was the big downtown Ford fireworks. So one of the biggest fireworks displays in the country, right on the Detroit River. It is put on in conjunction with the parade company here in Detroit, and Ford co-sponsors it. And we also create a huge rooftop party on the rooftop
it's also not just for us. It's also
for Canada too. It's in conjunction with Canada. That's why it's done a week and a half, 2 weeks before the 4th of July.
It used to be done between the two holidays. Now they do it before both of them. Like a week before, because this is early. I mean, it's still a week away from Canada Day and a week and a half away from Independence Day.
Yeah. Because the 4th is, oddly enough, it doesn't feel like it, but
it's a week from Friday.
A week
from Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah.
It's a week from this Thursday. So anyway, we had the big rooftop thing party on the parking structure right next to the Rensen, and we've been doing it for years. So Stella and I and a friend of ours who's currently visiting from Rotterdam, and he's in the Netherlands. The 3 of us got in the car, and my car, to go down to the party, and my car crapped out on the freeway, right around 7 Mile, and just before 7 Mile, just north of 7 Mile. So I was able to get off the
So you
freeway.
took him on a tour of the highlights
the
of Detroit,
ghetto.
the highlights of Detroit.
Because I had to. It was the car was dying. I had to. The battery was basically dying, and I was trying to baby it home if I could to get it back that 2 miles, essentially that 2 miles back home. So I didn't have to call a tow truck for like a mile, And we got it to 7.5 Mile State Fair, and it died. And then thankfully somebody gave me a jump, and that got us to 8 Mile, and then it died again. And then I got another guy. I called an Uber for Yob and Stella to go home. And then Stella's like, well, what are you going to do? I go, I'm going to figure it out, And so I got another guy, really nice guy, who had other things going on, but took a minute to give me a jump. And he gave me a jump, and I got another like 4 blocks, and then it died. And then I got another guy give me a jump, and then I called Stella to bring her car and at least follow me and help me get me. So at one point I had her just push my car with her car because I was just getting so frustrated having to like re-jump the car every 5 blocks or so.
Mm-hmm.
So then, that's exactly, Jeepo, that's exactly what I said to Yob. I'm like, hey, you're in for an adventure. A hell of an adventure. Because he doesn't drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like he lives in Rotterdam. There's not a whole lot of need for him to drive.
A lot of people in Europe don't own cars.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. He bikes.
You know why? Because they have actual public transportation that works.
Right. Absolutely. So he was like, this is new to me, and thankfully we were able to get the car back to the car repair place right over by my house, and he fixed it today, and we were able to still go to the party. We got a little late. We were supposed to be there around 5:30. We got there around 7:30.
So right on time for you.
That was that was the other thing is going down. I mean, Detroit closes off the freeways to basically at 6 o'clock on this day. So we had to use the side streets and just kind of, and everything. So many things were blocked off. And by the time I got there, I was like, I need a drink and I need something to eat. And because it's catered by Andiamo, so the food's really good and everything. But it was just, what a nightmare. But then finally, the fireworks went off and it was great. We got home. We took Stella's car, like obviously, and then we got home, and I was just completely drained. And then I talked to the car guy this morning, and then he was like, "Well, what happened is your compressor for your air conditioner died and took the serpentine belt with it, so nothing was turning. The car was in danger of overheating. The
alternator wasn't going.
The alternator wasn't going, and nothing was going. So, $960 later, it is fixed, and I have air conditioning again. So, that's kind of nice, at least.
Just in time for the next heat wave.
Yeah. The other drag is I also found out today that I will not be body painting at the next big rock and metal show, Incarceration. They just opted not to bring me on board for that one. So, possibly for the next one, which will be Labor Day weekend in Louisville, or near Louisville, and it is Bourbon and Beyond. It is a 4-day.
I figured when you told me that it was in Louisville or in or around Louisville.
Yeah, it's Bourbon and Beyond. It's a 4-day rock and roll, alternative rock and roll, and bourbon themed rock festival. And it's not a metal show though. Like if you look at it's a lot more like kind of just pop rock maybe. Like, well, I guess Melissa Etheridge is going to be there. And I was looking over the lineup, and I was like, well, I'm sure I could find a few bands that I would probably like at this. But it's definitely not going to be the same. It's like just so we got Neil Young, Beck, Matchbox 20, Dave Matthews Band, Tedeschi Trucks Band, Black Pumas, Zach Bryan, Whiskey Myers, Cody Jenks, Tyler Childers, My Morning Jacket, the National. So it looks like some of this stuff. Oh, Melissa Etheridge, Chris Isaac,
the Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys, right? Bruce Hornsby and the Noisemakers. I mean,
Dinosaur Jr.
what the right? Holy shit, you know. So I mean, it's just like Suzanne Vega.
Oh, dude, the
I
Bacon
mean,
Brothers are going to be there.
oh man, the Bacon Brothers. I'm there. The Bacon Brothers, dude. If no bullshit, if Kevin Bacon is there, I'll go and see Kevin Bacon. So it's kind of lame rock, but you know,
Soul Asylum's going to be there.
yeah, there's some diamonds here, but it's just I don't know. Definitely not someplace I would normally pay to go. And
yeah, a lot of these a lot of these bands I've never heard of.
Right. And I'm afraid that unfortunately it's going to be one of those like this crowd isn't going to want face and body painting, you know.
They might.
So we'll see. We'll see what's up. You never know. I mean, some of the face and body painting I did at the last one was not particularly metal. There was all kinds of shit that I did.
Oh,
so.
Bruce Hornsby's got a new band. It's Bruce Hornsby and the Noisemakers. Yeah. I missed that.
So anyway, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a few there.
Chris Isaac.
Yeah. I'd see Melissa Etheridge. I've always liked her.
Oh, the Wallflowers.
The Wallflower. Yeah, it's like I said, just not normally like a music festival that I'd pay to go to.
Suzanne Vega, I'd see her.
So that's the next one we're pitching.
Tunstall.
And hopefully they'll take the whole group of us this time.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Kind of not the way I'd rather spend my Labor Day weekend at fucking the Ren Fair. So
well, it's not Labor Day weekend, it's the 19th through 22nd.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So it's the previous weekend.
No, it's 2 weeks after Labor Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's the middle of September.
What's the one that I must have screwed up the date. And what's the one that is she told us like one of them definitely is during Labor Day weekend. I don't know. Well, I don't know.
There's probably another one. There's like a music festival every weekend.
There's a couple of they did like they've done like she listed like 7 of them. And I knew that like the last 2 I couldn't do because they're in October. And they're back-to-back weekends in October in Sacramento, California.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'll be too wiped out, too busy with the parade company stuff. Plus it's in Sacramento. So I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, I got a lot. It was a bit of a bummer. So I had kind of a shitty day.
Oh, one thing I forgot. I got my new printer, and I've been playing with that. I've actually got a print going right now. It should be finishing up right about now, actually.
Cool.
It prints pretty good. I'm still kind of learning it. It prints things a lot stronger, it seems like, than my previous printer, and that could just be the fact that the way that it pulls off, that the prints seem the supports are stronger on there. So, definitely been a learning curve with cleaning the prints off. It's been kind of a pain in the ass. No, I got the fucking hiccups now, but but yeah. So you drinking anything tonight?
Just rocking the Fago tonight, man.
Which flavor?
Rock and Rye,
of course. Rock and Rye and Red Pop, I think, are the 2 best. Those are my favorites.
My favorite for sure. I do like Grape and Orange as well.
Grape and Orange are good. Red Pop's my second favorite, though.
I'd have to say Red's my second favorite, next to the Rock and Rye. But Fago's got so many flavors.
Their cream soda is really good too.
Cream soda. They've got vanilla cream soda, and now it's a variation. Then they've also got we've got a couple new ones. They've got cotton candy, which I haven't tried yet.
Oh.
There's a bomb pop that literally tastes like the red, white, and blue.
I've heard that. I haven't tried that one, but I've heard that. Hell, there's a hard seltzer out that Oddside made that was red, white, and blue, and it was a bomb pop seltzer, and it did. It tasted like a melted bomb pop. I'm like, how do you guys do this? This is.
Yeah, I mean it's impressive. I mean, Fago was another sponsor for the party, so we got a and as always treats the parade very well. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a shit ton of it at work right now. We usually do. But,
Well, I am drinking a beer from the Nano Brew that I went to on Sunday. It's a place called JMEX Brewing Company. It's in St. Clair Shores. They are a small place, so sorry, CD, they don't distribute. But I got one of their glasses, and then this is the beer that I'm drinking. Although this is one of the ones I got it in a can, and it's way cloudier than what it was at the brewery. This one at the brewery was crystal clear. So this one's got a little bit of cloud to it. This is their Don't Be Selfish IPA. It is 7% ABV. There's the can, just a little hop looking kind of mad with crossed arms. But it's pineapple. Yeah, you're right. Ojipo, that's another one. It's got a lot of citrus aroma to it, and I'll take another sip here. And it also has a lot of that citrus on the tongue too. I'd say it's kind of a medium body beer. It finishes dry, but overall, I think this is a really solid IPA. I like this one a lot. Had another one of their IPAs there. It was a New England style, which isn't always my favorite. Even that one was good though. For a New England style, it was actually really good. But this one, if you like a good American IPA, that citrusy type of flavoring, this is a really good one. So if you're here local in Michigan, check out JMEX over in St. Clair Shores. They're really good, and they are not sponsoring. But Renee and I'll be back out there sometime soon. They are closed on Tuesday, so you can't go there. You got to stay here and watch the show, and then you can head over there.
Well, hopefully, by the way, but while I'm thinking about it, we're thinking about talking about breweries. Hopefully, my friend Skip's brewery will be open. I think his plan is around September-ish.
Oh yeah,
to open his brewery down in Eastern Market.
Okay,
and we'll be able to go down there and check that out. And it's going to be one of those he's not going to be like an open till 2 bar. It's going to be like a 10 o'clock. Like that's kind of like
most of the breweries are.
Yeah, kind of like the way Be Nectar does their tap room and stuff.
But that's the way this place does it too. They're like 10 or 11. They might be open till midnight on the weekends, but yeah, they're open. I looked. They're open 6 days a week. They're not Tuesday's the only day they're closed. So, and they do trivia on Wednesdays, which if I didn't have other things going on, I'd go up there and do it because I love doing trivia. But yeah. So, anyways, I give this probably 4 out of 5. 4 bottle caps for this one, so it's really solid, very, very good. I will drink again. And we'll drink now.
I just looked it up. I was thinking of Rocklahoma, which is in Oklahoma, and that's Labor Day.
Yeah,
that's actually the big one.
Got lots of sediment in the can itself, so I think I'm just gonna let that sit over there, and we'll just put that over there for now. Yeah, CD, I know you like the New Englands. I'm just not a big fan. See, CD's got a 1911 orange creamsicle cider. That sounds delicious. From Beacon Skiff Apple Orchards, 4.5 out of 5, 6.9%, delightful rep of the flavor. That sounds friggin' delicious. I know we can get 1911 here. I've seen it because we've gotten their cinnamon donut, cider before. And I will have to look for that orange creamsicle one. I love orange creamsicle shit. I actually just had a orange creamsicle cream from what the hell's the name of it? Jackson something. Anyway, they're another one of the cream ones. That was really good. And then I also bought some ice cream that was basically orange creamsicle ice cream. Was also outstanding. Yeah. from Hudsonville, dude. It's so good.
Oh, cool. Hudsonville makes good stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Renee said that JMX also had a couple ciders on tap too that we were told were pretty solid. Renee had they had a Czech amber lager that was also pretty damn good. So we're definitely gonna go back up there, check them out again. They're not far from the house, and they're right by one of our favorite ice cream places. It's a frozen custard shop over there in St. Clair Shores. So, but yeah, so we'll be back over there. So should we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, we can start with. Let's start with the Acolyte. I know you aren't actually watching it yet. You haven't started it.
I was planning on starting it today when I first got home from work, but then I ended up getting distracted by some other stuff around the house.
Wait, Ojipo, are you actually drinking tonight? Blake's Hard Cider American Apple?
It's a good basic cider, man.
It is. Well, it's an Imperial too. That's the Imperial.
Yeah,
that's their 8%er.
That's a good one. Yeah. You're right. It is a little higher.
Yeah.
ABV.
But anyway, so I started watching The Acolyte. I've watched the first 3 episodes. I'm still not sure about this show. It's so cinnamon donut. I think that some of the writing has been lazy in it. I'm not happy with one of the things they're doing. They've brought in the Witches of Dothmere again.
Yes, I've heard about that.
And we're back to
it's a big complaint that people are having.
And well, I don't have as much of a complaint about that, but what I don't like is we're back to fucking Force babies. Babies created by the Force. Like okay. Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now to me that means Anakin's not so fucking special. If it happened 100 years before or 400 years before or whatever the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
But supposedly they did some ritual that let them create Force babies, and they wound up with twins. And that's the whole thing. One of them went to the Jedi, and one turned to the dark side, and all that. So it's that through the 3rd episode, we finally got to see the one's master, the Sith. That in the last episode, you see him right at the end, and he's creepy fucking looking too. His mask looks like it. The way I described it to Renee, because she's like, it looks like a big, like, toothy smile. I said, yeah, it kind of looked his whole getup with his helmet and everything, and with the way it was shaded in the dark. I'm like, it kind of reminds me of the Batman Who Laughs. Just in the look.
Okay.
It didn't have the spikes and everything, but that's what I thought of when I saw the smile. But yeah, so I mean, got another episode. Got episode 4 tonight. I will continue checking it out, but it
4 episodes already?
Yeah, this will be the 4th one tonight. They released the first 2 the first week, and then there was episode 3 last week and episode 4 this week. So overall, though, I'm thinking this isn't that great.
There are a lot of people that are not happy with it. A lot of the old school fans, particularly.
And they're
unhappy with it.
Yeah, and there hasn't been any. I've seen some things online. I haven't read them because I take a lot of what I see on a lot of these sites with a grain of salt. But I haven't heard anything on why we haven't seen Yoda or why we're not going to see Yoda in this. Mm-hmm. He would be alive. He would have most likely been a Jedi Master by that point, because I mean he'd still be 500 freaking years old.
Yeah.
So we can see why have I got 3 alerts. Oh, we're getting dropped frames. Sorry guys if this is coming through kind of choppy at all. But yeah, so overall, I think that I'm hoping the story is going to get better, because it's a slow burn right now, and it's a slow burn, but it's also seems like it's going too fast. like they're just jumping, jump, 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 jump. Because the whole thing is that the one woman has to, the darker of the twins, the dark side twin, she has to kill a Jedi without using a weapon to please the master. And so she's going through, and she's basically, she killed a Jedi in the first one, she kills a Jedi in the second one, and she is actually on her way to go kill a Jedi in the third one. She's just like hunting these 4 Jedi down that were on her planet. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why there's. I mean, I guess it's because they probably only got I think they only have 6 episodes to do this in.
They're only doing 6, not 8.
I don't know. They're hour-long episodes, so let's look. And I am still getting notifications that we're dropping frames. So looks like the storms this morning did something to my internet.
Well, drag.
It
looks okay. It looks okay to me.
I mean, it's still pretty visually. Oh, we're saying next episode is episode 6. Today's episode 5. I must be another episode behind.
I gotta get caught up on that show.
There are 8 episodes. There will be 8.
Oh, okay.
The last episode will be July 16th. Oh, I guess that was 4. Okay, so that was 4 that I just watched. I thought it was only 3. They kind of blend together. But yeah, so overall, right now, I'd give it a meh score. I don't think it's been all that great.
Are you gonna put? Where are you putting it on the hierarchy of Star Wars shows that we've seen so far?
Trying to think. So it's definitely not up to Andor. I'm blanking on what shows we've seen too. Ahsoka. It's not Ahsoka. It's definitely not Mandalorian. I mean, it's below all of those.
Really? So you're talking bottom of the barrel?
It's down. It's probably down around Book of Boba Fett ish. And right now, it might even be behind Book of Boba Fett.
All right.
This may be the worst of the Star Wars shows that I've seen so far.
Wow. All right. Well, they can't all be roses, you know.
So wait, it's just called Yoda and is basically a carbon copy of Alf with Yoda eating cats and cracking jokes in the middle of American Family. Oh, they're saving Yoda for the next series. That's what it'll be. It's just going to be called Yoda. Yeah, unfortunately, CD, I don't think it's Twitch. It's I think it's my internet. My upload, I'm losing frames. So, unfortunately, yep, just got another one. I'm losing over 30%, like 32 to 36%. So,
I mean, it's looking okay. I'm looking at the feed, and it's looking okay.
Okay, well, it's going fine here, and the recording should be fine. So, hopefully, if anybody misses anything, you can go back and watch it over the next couple of weeks. And that's another thing. So I also started the last episode up on YouTube again. For the first time in like 60 episodes, I have put an episode up on YouTube. So I'm going to try putting them up there just to see, what happens. So
now things go up on our Spotify and stuff. Go up on Spotify and stuff faster, right?
Oh yeah, they go up. They go up like every week. Once in a while, I forget or I'm busy and don't get to it till later. But although I got to talk to you about that because I got to talk to you about that because of the. I want to talk to you about the numbers we've been getting. So, but we can talk about that later.
Spotify is also just audio, right?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's just audio.
All right.
So
Boba Fett is the dumpster. I mean, I still enjoyed it because it was still Boba Fett. It was still Star Wars. I mean, that's the thing. I'm still kind of like, well, it's still Star Wars.
dude,
But we do definitely have a litmus there when it comes to good Star Wars and not so good Star Wars. So we definitely know the difference now.
my biggest problem with Boba Fett was that two of the episodes, the show is the Book of Boba Fett, and two of the episodes didn't even have him in it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It was Mandalorian season 2.5.
It was. It was ultimately. It was just I think it gave them a break, the Mandalorian crew a break, and just so so they could get ready for the next season of Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of give them time. I don't know. I liked. Apparently, Jibo didn't like any of them. One big shit show, huh? Mandalorian. I liked a lot. I thought it was really great, and um, I liked Kenobi, man. I did.
I enjoyed Kenobi.
Kenobi was fine.
I didn't like it at first because of the whole Leia Kenobi thing, but after going back and re-watching New Hope afterwards, I can see them working that in.
Right, exactly.
And it would explain why she was actually so excited that when Luke told her that he was there with Ben Kenobi.
It was I thought it was smart the way they went about it. You know, they're trying to create more story within an established story. That can't be easy. Trying to make this work, trying to make that work cannot be easy. But I thought it was smart the way how they went about it.
Well, I just saw a thing. It was like it's a fan made like animated thing. It's like 48 minutes long or something like that on YouTube, and it's a what if for Star Wars that someone did, and it's what if Ahsoka raised Luke. Wow, you just completely cut out. Are you?
Did I?
Yeah,
I'm still here.
yeah. I saw your mouth move, but nothing came out.
Oh, wow. I was just kind of like I paused for a moment to kind of think about that. What if Ahsoka raised Luke? What a fucking amazing kind of thought process. Because I mean, we're looking at like, the difference between Harry Potter being raised by Dumbledore or by his aunt and uncle,
or by
Sirius
or by
right. It's that same kind of like thing. Like that's probably a better analogy would be Sirius Black. I mean, it's and it's funny how often Star Wars and Harry Potter are like compared. Like I saw this comedian one time basically say Harry Potter is just Star Wars with shittier lightsabers. and then did like a blow by blow kind of comparison to them, and it's like, and I showed that to Stella, and I was like, and she just kind of her jaw dropped a little, and she immediately felt like she had to
defend it.
Yep. And I'm like, you don't get to defend it. It's yes, it's the savior story. It's one of those things where you're like, it totally, and there's a lot of commonality when it comes to there's the a savior story like that, because that's what Luke is. He's essentially supposed to be the savior.
Yep.
But
from what I heard, originally he wasn't.
Oh no,
Leia's supposed to be the savior.
Was that George Lucas's original idea?
That's what I had heard. The original idea was that basically Luke was going to turn to the dark side, and or he was going to get killed by Vader trying to fight him, and Leia was going to take over and become the true.
I don't know, man. That would have been pretty fucking cool. That would have been pretty fucking cool. I think having like the princess to be, the one that they had to, rescue in the first movie, that she ends up being the savior.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty cool.
So,
I am gonna watch the Acolyte. I gotta admit, I haven't been super like stoked to do it right away because of some of these negative things
well,
that I've been hearing.
yeah, and I wish they would have done a little more to explain the time frame that we're in. They just kind of throw you in, and well, I understand what time frame this is. It's hard to get your head around when this is supposed to be, because it could just be, from the looks of things, it could be that just before Palpatine takes over. I mean, it's Coruscant looks the same, the Jedi Temple looks the same, pretty much everything looks the same.
Right. Well, I don't know. I do want to get into this, but I'm into this show, but I gotta admit, I just don't want to watch bad Star Wars. You know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
love Star Wars, and it bums me out when I do watch it and go, yeah, I kind of see what they're saying. So I don't know. We'll see. Shall we move on? What else? What we got? What we got next coming up?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about next?
Well, how about some Star Trek Discovery? Let's switch gears to another sci-fi.
Okay. Renee and I have not finished it yet.
No, I haven't either. How far are you now?
I think we're like 7 or 8 episodes in.
Okay, there's 10 episodes in the season. I think I just watched number 5, which was the one where they come across the ISS Enterprise from the Mirror Universe in that little pocket wormhole.
Okay.
That's where I've left off. So a lot of people are saying that the Discovery is redeeming itself in this final season. That a lot of the complaints that people have had about the show are kind of wrapping up, and they're saying that for all said and done, for all the complaints people have had about Discovery, that this final season they're going out with a bang. They've gone out with a bang, and they've done a good job closing that show off. And I gotta say, I think they have so far on these for the first 5 that I've seen so far.
Like I said, it's the amazing race in space.
Sure.
I think there's been some seriously lazy writing. I think it's fucking stupid that when they get a clue and the bad guys aren't around anywhere, the bad guys still just show up at whatever planet Discovery's at, or wherever Discovery is, having no reason to be there because they don't have that clue.
Well, they've somehow been able to get those clues in other ways.
No, they haven't.
They've been able to figure out, I think what it is, like, they've been able to triangulate or figure out where the next clue is through like other means, haven't it?
No, they've been tracking Discovery. How the fuck do you track Discovery through the mycelial network or whatever the hell it is?
They're not traveling through the mycelial network. They're just warping around. They're not usually.
No, they've been going to Black Alert and popping, and they're still tracking them.
They have?
Mm-hmm. I guarantee that one of the later episodes they do, for sure.
I don't think they're doing it all the time.
But in one of the later episodes, there is no reason for them to be going to this place.
Yeah, because
Discovery Black Alert's there.
Okay. Because I know they've been using, like Stamets had made the point about how his life's work is they're not using it anymore, So it was like he was kind of down in the dumper about it.
But yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't call it lazy writing. I would say, yeah. I mean, they got to have a bad guy.
Right, but then write it better.
Sure.
They're rushing this along. They're it's like they're just rushing. That's the other thing for me is it feels very rushed. They're rushing it to just finish the season off and finish the series off. And I honestly, I think it's better than the previous couple seasons, but I still don't think it's that good.
Not Strange New Worldsy enough for you, huh?
No, I like Strange New Worlds. I like the way that they've been writing it.
It's not
Yeah.
not good enough.
I mean, it's not even TNG, but TNG had more episodes to work with for a season. So that if they were doing a season-long arc, they could.
Is the short. This is the shortest season for them too. Like, I was looking at it when I pulled it up on the Paramount app, and I'm like, oh yeah, their previous seasons of Discovery were like normal, like 13 episodes. This is only 10. I think the first season actually had more like 16 episodes. It might have been. I'd have to double check it, but
I didn't think so. I didn't think any of them had more than 12.
I could have swore one of them did, but I could be mistaken.
To the interwebs.
To the interwebs. Just pull up the fucking app, I guess.
Although I am losing packets, I've got a ping going out to the internet.
Maybe you shouldn't be the one doing this. I'll take a look at it.
No, I'm fine. There's a total of 65 episodes. So let's see. Season 1 had 15.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 had 14. Three was 13. I'm seeing a trend.
Yeah. Four
was 13.
13.
Yeah.
So 10 for this one.
And 10 for 5.
I don't know, man. I mean, I still say it's yes, it's not the best Trek show that we've had, but I still say pretty solid. I think they are doing a good job wrapping things up, like with some of the other things, like Saru and his career and the things with his.
I like the Saru story.
Yeah. I'm kind of enjoying how they're finally going into detail about the Breen. We know what they look like underneath their helmets now. Anytime Jet Reno is on screen, I love her. Because Tig Notaro is awesome.
Yeah, I still have a problem with the seven of limes drink that she created.
Some shit you just gotta let go.
No, the timeline's wrong.
Some stuff is they just play it for humor, and that was a funny joke.
It was, and it would be funnier if it fit with the fucking timeline.
I still say it's weak, but it worked.
Oh no, dude, that is such a weak argument. That's so weak that, I mean, that's weaker than the bourbon I got at the Bourbon Spiel.
She didn't read up on somebody on a cool captain of one of the Enterprises.
Not in the short time that they've been there when she's got work to do.
They've been there for like 18 months. She's got time to kill.
She'd be more likely to read up on Picard, and she wouldn't even be close to being through his shit.
Why? Why would she be more likely to read? We don't know what 7 of 9 did yet as the captain of Enterprise G. We don't know. She could have. I mean, I think it's G, isn't it, or is it F? No, it's G. I mean,
space magic.
She could have done all kinds of incredible stuff as the captain of Enterprise G. Considered, besides the fact that she was the first Borg drone to be separated from the collective and to become a viable and to rise to being the captain of the flagship of the fleet. She
wasn't. Picard was.
Okay, fair enough. That is true. But I mean, she was a drone from like childhood. He was a drone for like a couple weeks. So, I mean, I'd argue in many ways, 7 of 9 was probably more of a remarkable kind of person than Captain Picard would be in like the history books. You know, like if you put them by history, you go, guy, storied captain of the Enterprise, did a bunch of really cool stuff. Sure. Woman is found, or woman is you know, taken by the Borg, assimilated by the Borg, grows up her whole life, her whole childhood, or whatever, in the Gamma Quadrant. That was a thing too, because her parents apparently had gone through the I think had gone through the wormhole at DS9 to investigate them. Got captured, got assimilated. 75 light years away from the Alpha Quadrant.
Well, that's the thing, is that went to the Delta Quadrant, though, didn't it?
Yeah, Delta Quadrant, whatever it was. Yes, you're right. But anyways, I mean, gets found in the Delta Quadrant by a lost Federation ship, is integrated, is freed from the collective, is integrated into the crew, becomes a valuable member of the crew. I mean, she has a pretty spectacular career, and then finally, eventually, like, rejoins the Federation as an officer, and then rises up, helps to stop a new Borg invasion, and then rises up to the level of captain. I mean, her career, probably compared to the two in the history books, I think that's something that Jet Reno would be like, I'm gonna read about this broad. She seems pretty fucking cool. I mean, Captain Picard, yeah, pretty cool guy. But this woman here, I wager that
that's
she
still
would be
weak
more
tea, man.
interesting. I wager that 7 of 9 would be more interesting to Jet Reno than Captain Picard would be, because because of because of her accomplishments and what she overcame. So, Jet Reno, yeah, made up a drink based on a storied, famous officer from 1,000 years before.
Yeah, so it looks like what's happening is we're a lot of the people watching are actually like several minutes behind us on our actual thing. That's why a lot of the stuff that's coming in seems to be like farther back. Renee said she's over 10 minutes behind. So she said, back to Discovery, Stamets is upset because they aren't going to continue fitting space travel with the Mycelian network tech. Discovery pretty much exclusively travels via the network.
Okay. Because I thought they have warp drive on that ship. I just,
Yeah, but they only use it if they have to.
Okay.
So, but anyway, yes, it's all done now. No more Discovery. But we do have to finish up the series.
Right.
I forgot that we still had 2 episodes. I looked when I was looking at the thing. I looked and I'm like, yeah, we're on episode 9. We've gotten through episode 8. So let's move on. The boys came back.
Yes. Holy shit. Now there are 4 episodes out so far.
Yeah, I've only watched the first one.
You've only watched the first one?
But
damn. But damn, right? Damn. Even the first episode was like
man, Homelander is so fucked up. He's just,
oh my God. So, all right. So, no, they've definitely made a bunch of changes from the comic book to the show, and I would wager that they are solid changes. They're decent changes, pretty good changes. Overall, nothing I'd be like, oh fuck that sucks. Like in the fact that in the comic books, Black Noir is actually a clone of the Homelander. That's why he never speaks, and he's really fucked up. Now in this, he's not. He wasn't. And the current Black Noir is a new guy they put in the suit, and it's funny because in later episodes, he's very much more like treating it like it's a role, like he's an actor, and it's a role.
Well, he said something in the first episode too. He spoke for the first time.
He spoke in the first episode, and that was everybody's like, you're not supposed to say anything. And so anyway, he's having a tough time getting.
And thanks for spoiling that, by the way.
Oh, sorry. It's not really anything that's, that's out of that's breaking anything. It's more comedy stuff. But anyways, they've made some major changes, and like in the previous season, also pretty much talking about how Homelander was basically born of Soldier Boy and is made from his genetic material, things like that. Anyway, they've made some pretty decent changes, and I gotta say, I like them for the most part. Um, they've also been doing their damnedest to try and make. They keep throwing these like moments of like trying to make Homelander a sympathetic villain, but still keep him a villain. Like he's not. This isn't like Black Panther or where they tried to make the one guy what was it not the what was his character name, the bad guy in Black Panther, basically trying to make him, because he
Killmonger?
was like Killmonger, thank you, that he was the even though he's like Black Panther's cousin, they tried to make him a little more sympathetic, it's just understand, and they do that with all the Marvel villains. But with Homelander, they're definitely, I think they're trying to keep him a villain, but at least make you understand what made him so screwed up. And that's what we see a lot of in this season so far. Like in the fourth episode, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Well, the fourth episode, there's more of that. There's where Homelander is, it goes into some of his back history a little bit and explains like some of the trauma he went through as a child and just how fucking scary it was. But then at the same time, also saying like there's a reason why we had to do the things we had to do to you, Homelander. You were scary. You scared us. You were frightening. From the moment you drew breath, you were scary as all hell. So yeah, so it's and it's also kind of dealing more and more with the particularly when it comes to him, about like he's almost neurotic. He's of course he's neurotic, but it's getting worse. It's like now he's almost developing like he almost has nobody to talk to but himself.
Mm-hmm.
So he is talking to himself, and
He's
giving
bitching
himself
about
good
bitching
advice.
about being surrounded by sycophants, and
right.
he
At
just
one
yes
point,
men, and the whole deep blow A train.
Yeah, he was like, that was fucking nuts, because people are so afraid of him because he's so fucking powerful. Nobody can stand up to him. I mean, they're just, and that would be frustrating for anybody to be surrounded by people that are just going to be like, yes, sir. Of course, sir. No, you always say such great things, sir. You're very intelligent, sir. You're and handsome as well,
Oh, dude,
You're also seeing
the internet is getting worse here. I'm losing over 40% now, almost up to 50%. It's getting worse as time goes.
Okay, well, what do you want to do?
Well, we can keep going, but
we
may want to cut it a little early.
Okay, well,
but anyway, sorry. We can keep going with this. It's just
So anyway, it's been interesting to see how he, how frustrating he has got, because he wants so many things. He ultimately wants to be loved and appreciated, but he really wants to be able to have a conversation with somebody and not be that. He may be an egotist and a narcissist, but he still wants to be able to have a conversation with someone, and be able to believe that they have an opinion, and hence the fact that he brings in Sister Sage,
from Detroit.
Yes, and that was really cool too, because in the first scene you see her and she's wearing a t-shirt that says the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Yep.
And I'm like, holy shit, that is so cool. And then there's another scene where she's wearing a shirt that says Detroit. And so I'm just like, well, that's fucking awesome. And then, then it is determined later on that she is actually from Detroit. And I'm really interested to see how they're going to deal with this character as well, because her power is that she's the smartest person in the world.
She's Ozymandias.
Yeah. And, somebody who is the smartest person in the world it could be very easy for them to become monomaniacal, fucking crazy person. And it looks to me that she is going to become, she's a master manipulator because that's what she has to do to survive, right? And that's what she's going to end up doing. Is she's going to be manipulating Homelander and manipulating the situation to where everything is going to come out in the positive for her. You know. Have you been introduced to Firecracker?
No.
Okay, I think in the first episode you just see Firecracker on screen.
Yeah, I think so.
Like she's like a hyper conservative right wing MAGA kind of.
Yes, yeah, she's been on the screen. Yeah.
Right. Okay, well they deal more with her in episodes 2 and 3 and the ensuing episodes. They've talked about, because they dropped the first 3 episodes first, and then the 4th episode dropped on Thursday last week, and there's some pretty fucked up stuff. And like I was talking to Stella, telling her about one particular scene, and she's just like, "Why? What's the point of that? There's no." And I go, "It's shock value stuff. It's for sure." But and I get that. I mean, because some of the people that are involved with this show are basically grown up, 12-year-olds. But
well, it's like the beginning of Gen V with the chick that shrinks down.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah, and she grows by eating, and she shrinks by purging, and and stuff like that. But it's like, some of the stuff is thinking about, like, particularly like in the previous season where they went to that sex party for the superhumans, and you're like, it makes sense. If you've already got superhumans, you got people that have these superpowers, right? And you're putting them in a situation, in a world where they're not really superheroes, they're really more entertainers. They're going to figure out ways to use those powers to entertain themselves, sexually, in all different kinds of ways. They're going to do things that nobody else can do. Like the guy that shrank himself down and then, and went inside the other guy and then sneezed and exploded the guy. I mean, they're going to use some superhuman with electrical powers are going to use their electric powers to stimulate themselves or stimulate other people. There's all kinds of different sexual, deviancies that come with having all these superpowers. Hell, let alone just the fact that, like they talked about in the second season, I think it was second season. Yeah. Unless it was last season, with the Nazi chick, and about how she was so powerful that she needed to be with somebody like Homelander to be able to feel anything, and she's like, shut up and laser my tits, because she wanted to be able to feel something, whether it was pain, whether it was pleasure, whatever, because she was so powerful. And that made sense to me. That makes sense to, I think, to a lot of people that are watching the show, that this is real. This is what people would fucking do if they had superpowers. And that's one of the things that the show is supposed to be kind of couched in, is the fact that yes, it's dark, but it is not far off. There are definitely people that would be using their powers like that, and using their powers basically just to better themselves. Would there also be people that would want to use their powers to do good and help? Sure. There are cops and firefighters that do their job with their natural talents because they're good at it and they want to help people. There would be, even in a world where the superheroes can use their powers to get rich and become celebrities, there would still be some superheroes that would be like, there'd still be who want to do the right thing and do good things.
Yeah, I agree with CD though that some of the gore is becoming pretty comical at this point. It's more comedic than scary.
Sure. And Jeepo, I don't think he hasn't gotten to the episode with the pink eye stuff. That was fuck. That's one of the things I'm talking about. I was telling Stella about that particular scene, and it's just like, what the fuck? And that actor, holy shit. And anyway, so you'll know exactly what we're talking about when you get to that scene. And Stella was just like, why? What's the fucking point? Why put that on? I mean, suggest it maybe, but why put that on the screen? I'm like, no, they're still doing outrageous things and pushing the boundaries on that show. They're meaning to. So, and I still stand by. I would still say that Gen V was actually a better show than most of the boys, the seasons of the boys.
Yeah, and I went to start watching Gen V again and forgot about the whole fucking ads on Amazon now. And I got pissed and shut it off because I'm like, I don't want to watch ads in the middle of the fucking show. If you want to do ads, as much as I hate it, put them at the beginning, at the end.
Yeah.
Don't put them in the fucking middle.
That's what they do on Hulu sometimes. It depends on who's the sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. I'm still loving the show though. I'm still liking it. And they have stated that they are done at season 5.
Yep.
They will not be going further. Which, as much as I like these shows and I like the fact that they're oh man, of the ice skates, that too. God, CD. As much as I like the show and would love to see it continue, I also have a great deal of respect for creators that are like, nope, we're done. We're done it. We have a belt, we have a Bible, we have a story that we're going to tell, and we're done at this particular time. So I also do like one of the things I am liking is the political intrigue too, because it is complex. The things that they're doing, the things that Sage is doing to manipulate people, and the things that the one politician, the woman who is secretly assumed,
the congresswoman that's becoming vice president.
She's supposed to be like an AOC kind of analog, and how she is manipulating everything, and that's been pretty interesting too. I very much like how there are a lot of analogs for what we're seeing today, like Firecracker, who is the hyper conservative, like essentially Trump spewing, Trump supporting, conspiracy theorist type, and the fact that
a QAnon person,
yeah, pretty much a QAnon person that is also like a big Trump supporter, and then you've got Homelander, who is basically Donald Trump with superpowers. And you're just like, the analogs are just, I'm loving it. I'm just like, I just love it. It's fucking great. So I am excited to see the direction and how they're going to keep going with this.
Couple quick things on the real world front. Speaking of Trump and everything, debate Thursday night. I want to see it.
Yeah.
It starts at the exact same time as my cornhole playoffs, though. So I will be coming home from the playoffs. What's that?
Do you know what it's going to be broadcast on?
I know it's going to be on HBO. Right? It'll be on Max is one.
Yeah, on Max.
CNN, MSNBC. I think they're all doing it. But I want to see it because they're going to have the ability to shut off microphones.
Mm-hmm.
At the time limit, the mics will shut off.
Right.
There's no audience.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome. No audience.
Yeah.
So there's nobody for him to play to.
Right.
Because that's the thing. He plays to the audience all the fucking time.
Yeah, I did actually see a thing saying that what we might actually wind up with is 2 reserved candidates, that Trump may not go crazy on this one, that he may actually try and play the calm, cool, I'm not insane.
We'll see. I mean, I've been seeing people like posting.
I don't think
like,
he can.
No, I've been seeing people posting like some of the dialogue, like just a printout of some of his rambling speeches, and it's just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, do you want to be? Would you rather be electrocuted or eaten by a shark?
I mean, that
was like a 10-minute fucking
made no sense. And there's another thing about water, like
drip. Yeah,
about this whole
water pressure thing. I got a luxurious head of hair, and
yeah, and I like to lather it a lot because I think it feels like it's like your luxurious head of hair is not luxurious anymore, buddy. It may not be a rug, but it might as well be. If it's not stapled to his head, I'd be surprised. but yeah, it's just like his the rambling bullshit that he puts up, and then the people they try and like defend him for it. I guess the whole water thing was talking about how there were a lot of restrictions were put on for water pressure to save water, to save like our fresh water. And so certain restrictions were put on water pressure and whatnot, and nobody even really noticed. This isn't a big deal. People have it was good. It saved billions of gallons of water. And he's like, oh, I want to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? I am gonna probably watch that Thursday. I'll probably take the time.
I will come home and turn it on and
what
probably watch it right
start?
from the beginning.
What time does it start? 9 o'clock?
7.
10 o'clock? 7 o'clock.
At least that's when coverage starts. I don't know what time the actual debate starts. I'm betting the debate itself will start at 8.
Okay.
Press.
Well, I wanted to. We are approaching 90 minutes, so maybe we could just end it earlier or a little bit earlier tonight. I did want to mention, they've been talking about a Green Lantern television.
It is going to be at 9, and it's going to run for 90 minutes.
Okay. There we're talking several months ago about a Green Lantern television show that they were planning on doing for HBO Max. And it's supposedly a True Detective style from similar to the TV show True Detective. Green Lantern show has been greenlit at HBO with Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart in the lead. Now there was talk that each season would be a pairing of 2 established Green Lanterns, and that probably the first one would be Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan, which are the 2 probably most prominently well-known Green Lanterns. DC Studios and HBO's Lanterns, a sort of superhero cop drama based on Green Lantern comics, have been ordered direct-to-series for a first season of 8 episodes of HBO, first announced back in 23. Lanterns is separate from a previous canceled Green Lantern show that was being developed for HBO by Greg Berlanti. In the new series, which ties into James Gunn's burgeoning DC movie universe, Green Lantern's Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart will take the lead, with actor Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner also likely to appear after debuting in the 25 Superman movie. True Detective's Night Country writer Chris Mundy will serve as showrunner. So we do have the head writer a writer from the most recent season of True Detective as the showrunner for this, with Damon Lindelof of HBO's Watchmen and award-winning comic book writer Tom King to write the series as well as serve as executive producers. That's a hell of a pedigree. Tom King is pretty goddamn great comic writer, and Damon Lindelof, I mean, that guy knows genre television. I mean, he's the Lost guy. He's the guy behind HBO's Watchmen, which was pretty darn good as well. So the series follows new recruit Jon Stewart and Lantern legend Hal Jordan, 2 intergalactic cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland. That's the official description. I'm in, like Flynn, dude. I am all about this. I think that this could be, if treated seriously and taken seriously and treated well, this could be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I can check it out. I'll check it out.
Yeah, the Green Lantern ring is the most versatile weapon and tool in the universe. I mean, it can do anything. It can create anything that the wielder's mind can think of.
But it can be defeated by yellow.
Well, not even, but originally.
It can't pick up a number 2 pencil.
That's something they've gotten rid of. They got rid of that a long time ago. But I think
it's all willpower.
It's willpower based, yeah. And now, I mean, originally, what they had basically moved it over to is that a Green Lantern was vulnerable to yellow things until they had developed the ability to overcome said yellow weakness. Like, it was a matter of overcoming it, getting to a certain point in your training to where you could overcome that yellow thing because of
well, right, and there's different color rings, and each ring is actually it has
different part of the emotional spectrum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So green being in the center of the spectrum is the least emotionally the least tied into emotions. It's will, it's strength of your will, as opposed to the rage of red, or the avarice of orange, or the fear of of yellow.
What
Things
was
like
blue?
that.
Because I
Blue is hope.
hope. Okay.
Yeah. Hope was they worked very closely with the Green Lanterns.
I was gonna say, so you're saying it's green in the middle, and then blue on the good side, and a whole bunch of shit on the bad side.
No, there was other ones that were, I mean, that was the other thing they established too, that although there were certain expectations and certain like types of lanterns were picked for the specific lantern core, it just because you had a red ring for rage, or a yellow ring for fear, didn't necessarily mean you were evil or bad. It just meant that was the energy that powered that particular ring. Like Soranik Natu, who was a Green Lantern for a while, and she's actually the daughter of Sinestro, ended up taking over the management of the Sinestro core, the yellow core, after her father was like, incapacitated or whatever. Even though she was a surgeon as well. The same thing with Guy Gardner had a red ring for a while, and he was one of the only ones that had both red and green for a while. People were like, "What are you, the Christmas lantern?"
I was just gonna say that's Christmas colors.
There was a lot of jokes like that. There's also the Indigo tribe, which was the Indigo Lanterns. The Star Sapphires were the it was essentially pink, but they were within that purple indigo kind of line right there. And the Star Sapphires were love. Indigo was compassion. And then so those were the hope. Hope was actually the Blue Lantern rings were the most per capita, the most powerful ring, but they were the only things they could do without a Green Lantern ring nearby was they could fly, you could create a force shield, and that was it. Because without will, hope is useless. So the hope and a Blue Lantern ring could hypercharge a Green Lantern ring, could make it even more powerful.
Oh, so that's a good one. CD's just said Firecracker is Lauren Boebert. They're still behind us.
Oh yeah. Firecracker is definitely Lauren Boebert. Yeah,
or Marjorie Taylor Greene.
The combination of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. She's
and hotter. What's her face? That chick from Arizona too.
Or that one blonde Tommy something. Oh, ridiculous. So, anyway, this Green Lantern show could potentially be really freaking awesome. So, I'm just really looking forward to seeing what James Gunn is able to do for the DC stuff. I think it's going to be really great. They did also release the cast list for the new Batman animated series that's going to be on HBO Max. I believe it's HBO Max. And the cast looks pretty cool. Actually, Christina Ricci will be doing the voice of Catwoman.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So another character, another iconic character for her to put in her cap.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, Chris, should we wrap things up a little?
Yeah, we're up to 52%. We're up to 52% lost over the last 2 minutes.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Sorry wait, one last thing. I just finished my beer, but I'll raise a crush. To Donald Sutherland.
Oh yeah,
an amazing actor. And the original Watcher.
The original Watcher
Buffy's original Watcher. So I'll raise a glass to him. He was a fantastic actor. Thank you for all the entertainment.
Slancha. Yeah, that bummed me out a little bit. I mean, I wasn't a massive fan of his, but I did, I liked his.
Yeah, I mean, I saw several movies with him in it that I liked every one of them.
in the original. He was Hawkeye in the original MASH.
Yeah.
The movie MASH. So. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Sorry about the technical difficulties. You'll be sure to check out when Chris posts this, or maybe maybe check it out on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, I'll have to
later.
see if it actually
When it
uploaded
uploads.
if it actually uploads to Twitch just fine. If not, I'll try and get this one up on YouTube quickly, probably by the weekend. I can't put it up for 24 hours because technically Twitch has exclusive rights to it for 24 hours.
Exactly. We're gonna see old guys falling asleep live on TV. Yeah, that's probably Jeepo. That is probably what we're gonna see.
Well past their bedtimes.
Yeah, very much so. So, anyways, but thanks for joining us, guys. Be sure to join us next week, next Tuesday at same bat time, same bat channel. We will not be gaming this coming Friday as we gamed the previous. So be sure to come on back and for Tavern Nights and a couple, in the following week.
Yep, and you can follow us on most social medias. We're on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show, and everywhere else, Drinking Nerds. We are still trying to get to 100 followers. We're at 93, and we're at 7 subscribers, and we're trying to get to 10. So any help you guys can have, throw a follow our way. Also, follow and like us on YouTube as well. It's Drinking Nerds over there. You can see all of our shows. Well, not all of our shows, but all the Tavern Nights are on there, and then a lot of our shows from here are on there as well. So, all right. Well, I think I'm going to be getting on the phone with my cable company.
Yeah. Find out what's
or at least restarting my modem.
That might be all you need to do.
It might be. But I figure it's probably from the power flickers earlier. Something happened. But yeah. So I think on that note. Until next time. Slancha. That was pretty good. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Good night.